Yeah, but rap stopped being rap after Rakim. I mean, everything else was kind of like downhill. I mean, you had a few cats, but you know, it wasn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know what I mean, like New York had like the rappers like Kane, like that whole generation, like Kane, Rakim, Cool G Rap. That was the last strong generation of New York rap, and then everybody else, you know, like when it got to that West Coast thing, and then, you know, all that little gangster shit infiltrated what we was trying to do, and after that, everything else went downhill, because it's like cats just stopped really New York rapping, like being like, you know, the real rapper cat. It's like they just started, you know, doing East Coast version of West Coast shit.
Yo, Mel, what do you think about lady rappers, female rappers?
I think they should rap like females.
Okay.
Now, you know what I
like
mean?
who? Who would you like? Who would you say, you know, stayed in their lane and rap like a female rapper?
I mean, I don't follow it like that, but I don't think none of them really did. It's like they sound too like, for the most part, like it could be one that I might be missing, but for the most part, they sound kind of butchy. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're a woman rapper, you should write something that women could relate to. Like if you wrote like if a woman were to write a song about a period and made it funny or something like that, that probably would be the biggest record of all time.
What about? I say Queen Latifah stayed in LA.
Yeah, I mean she did, but
what about Little Kim? She was.
That's crazy. Come on. I mean, I ain't mad at Lil Kim.
I mean, but she wasn't.
Nah, that's kind of. But that was. But I'm saying it wasn't.
Biggie was writing for her.
But I'm saying, but that wasn't lady. That's not ladylike. I mean, something that, you know what I mean. Let a woman, you know, rap about. Come on, let a rap about, you know, women got kids. You know, you ready. You know what I mean. Let's say something that, you know, like all women can relate to. All women can relate to. You know, sticking a fucking a big soda can in your mouth and all that old weird shit. You know what I mean? That was like, you see, that transformed women and how men relate to women and how women relate to themselves to something else. You see what I'm saying? It's like,
well, you know what, Mel? I think you got to read Jamella's book. I seen kind of like she sends on Twitter some of her outtakes, inserts from her book.
I gotta follow you.
Yeah, you gotta follow her because she said something that was very interesting. She said, "Be somebody's wife and be their mistress."
Right. But see,
give me a high five with that.
And see, and the main problem with hip hop nowadays is that it took black people. It took us away from ourselves. It's like we ain't even who we used to be no more. We some other shit, like, you know, we chasing money, like, you know, niggas want to get designer shit to do, you know, like they wear like, you know, $1,000 worth of shit and they look like they ready to rob a liquor store, you know what I mean? Or they, you know what I mean? They, you know, they wear Timberlands and you ain't gonna climb a mountain, or, you know what I mean? It's like it took us out of ourselves, whereas we used to be, you know what I mean, like even like up to like as far as the Chuck D era, like, you know, with Public Enemy, and they had like this black nationalism thing and everything was all good, and you could see, you know, where it was, you know, where it was going, like it was something that everybody could be, and then now you, I'm gonna kill this, and you know, gangs, everybody want to be in a gang, you know what I mean, young kids, and you know what I mean, it just took us outside, like, so now, as far as black people right now to today, who are we? We ain't shit no more.
But you know what, Melly? That's what they seen growing up. These are the things that these guys seen growing up.
They didn't see that.
Most of the people that grew up in the ghetto and that's experienced certain things, yes, that's why they talking about it.
No, they talking about, see, that's dick writing. That's a motherfucker writing with his dick instead of his head. Because if you look at any block, you go on any block, most of the people in the ghetto is hard-working people that's just trying to get by and do their thing and live their life. What they did was they set up a situation in records to whereas if you heard all these records year in, year out for the last 15 years, and now everybody's trying to emulate it to whereas on record, you got guys that should be a fan, and they talking like they real, and even on the street, you can't even find a crackhead. Everybody want to sell dope. So that's where all the murders come in. It ain't, you know, everybody want to be a gangster. It ain't like, you know what I mean? Some people, somebody's going to sell dope, but not everybody's supposed to sell dope. And even in hip hop, somebody's supposed to do it, but all these guys ain't supposed to be making no rap records. I mean, 50's nice, but everybody in G Unit ain't built for the game, and everybody that was down with Eminem, D4, whatever them dudes is, these niggas, they ain't built for the game. They just somebody that know him, just like I was saying, my man is Bow Wow. He's working a job right now. Shout out to Bow Wow. He ain't never gonna be on the record and he know it. He my man. Right. You know what I mean? He ain't built for the game. But like I said, hip hop took us outside of ourselves. And the main thing, and my point to anybody listening, in hip hop, outside hip hop, who the fuck are black people right now? Like how we used to be about some, it used to be about some shit. Who are we right now? We just, like, you know, it's Barack Obama and he's the president, and then we waiting on him to do some shit that we should have did 20 years ago on our own, and all they gonna do is make him fail, and then once he fail, we fail. Because who are we right now? And then you got all of these niggas with voices, and that's the one thing that we did for hip hop. We gave all of them niggas a voice and a platform to say anything that they want to say. And what the fuck did they say? That's what's so pathetic about all this shit here. Now you don't gotta preach to nobody because all our shit wasn't preached. I mean, we did the message. You know, White Lines was like the first drug song, so it wasn't like all the shit was preachy. But at least we had a voice and the type of motherfuckers we was. You know, I wasn't no hard nigga. I'm not no punk, but I ain't no hard nigga. I ain't never robbed nobody. I never shot nobody. I never been to jail. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of nigga. Now you got all of these niggas. They ain't no harder than me. They ain't that kind of nigga. But they trying to portray that shit, and then now you got everybody coming up under them. You see what I'm saying? They came up under us. They had hip hop. Now these cats coming up under them. They got what? They got the Bloods, the Bloods or the Crips in New York. And I never thought in a million years that got me fucked up to this day that you got Crips and Bloods walking around and ain't even real Crips and Bloods because we was out in L.A. You know what that shit is. And then you got some good niggas in L.A. I mean, I ain't never had no problems. I'm an OG nigga in L.A. All the real OG Crips and Bloods and Mike Concepcion and all them niggas, they give me all the respect in the world. In New York, I could go right out on the streets of the Bronx where I grew up and some nigga shoot me down and he won't even give a fuck who I am. Just like some nigga, he a Blood and I got on blue or some stupid shit. You know what I mean? But this is what we inherited, but by way of hip hop. And then everybody.
But you can't blame hip hop.
Yes, you can. No, yes, you can.
How you feel?
Because
if you look at the history, if you look at the history of the gangs and Bloods and Crips, it was in part due to the government, the drugs that was pumped into the community.
Yes, sir.
It was a lot of different. There was a lot of stuff. You can't just blame hip hop on that.
No, but hip hop was the spokesman. Hip hop was the megaphone for all the shit that gave it a rebirth. You see what I'm saying? It was always there, but hip hop brought the end of game. In other words, Soul Sonic Force in the Zulu Nation was black spades. With the guys that did our security, they was all black spades. They got out of the gangs to get into hip hop, and then the niggas that did hip hop brought back the rebirth because that's all they promoted. And then BET, MTV, all the radio stations, they all promoted that shit. And you know what they didn't promote right to this day? You got the pimp, the pusher, the gangster, the drug dealer, the prostitute. They all got a platform to speak. You know who don't got a platform to speak? The hip hoppers. When's the last time you seen a nigga, all I want to do is rap? No, you can't do that. Do you sell dope? You can have something to say. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? And so you can blame hip hop because these are the niggas that wrote. And you, like I said, we gave them a voice. They can say anything they want to say. And then what did they say? Who's the motherfucker that's looking out for some young kid that's going to go to college and want to do right by his shit? They don't respect that shit no more. You see what I'm saying? They respect a nigga coming out of jail, but you don't respect somebody coming out of college.